Okay.
Hey, Janelle.
All right. So what we're going to talk about, it's really something personal, obviously, and important. Um, Coming up, when is it exactly? Randy will be 10 years sober,
July 16th.
July 16th. And we wanted to sit down and have a real conversation about what the journey for him actually looked like. We're going to talk about where the addiction started, the lowest moments, what early sobriety felt like, and what looks like now after a decade of recovery. So, our hope tonight is pretty simple. We just want maybe somebody listening out there feel a little less lonely. Maybe someone struggling realizes actually it is possible to get sober. So, Randy, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Take a deep breath.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, we're going to do like a part one, part two to make it easier for the flow. So, part one, let's talk about when did alcohol first enter your life?
Well, first time I ever took a drink, I was 13 years old. It was beer. It's like I think everybody starts out with that pretty much. Um, and it was just with some friends and just messing around.
Did it feel harmless, fun?
Yeah, I
It was just
didn't think
trying to
much
fit
about it.
in.
Didn't think much about it. No, I don't do anything to fit in. It was something I wanted to do and try because I was circled around people that drank. So to me, it wasn't a big deal. Um, and we didn't drink all the time. It was just once in a while at that age. But as time went on, though, it got more and more and more.
Were you, when did you realize it was becoming something bigger than just a
Um,
can of beer every now and then?
I started drinking probably out of control. Why? Are you looking for out of control, or just realizing what?
That it became something that, you had to do it.
Probably about 19 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about 19. Yeah.
Were you just trying to escape your feelings,
No, I think it was just
numb
because it
them?
was something the people I hung around with did it, and I was just, I was already drinking anyway, and it got more and more, and uh, the problem with for me was I like beer. I like the taste of beer, so it's enjoyable for me. And the problem I didn't understand is I was getting drunk and not realizing what I was doing when I was drunk. So as well as later years it got really bad.
Yeah, we'll
And
talk about that.
yeah, so yeah, I was about 19 years old, 18, 19 when I started realizing
So
that
it just started out as just partying,
just
basically.
partying with the guys and smoking and just doing all the things we did back in those days.
And so talk a little bit more about that.
Well,
About,
we lived.
the partying. I mean,
Yeah, I had a bunch of friends. I was playing ball. I had a bunch of friends when I was playing
who
ball.
who bought the alcohol for you guys?
Well, I bought a lot of it because I looked older for my age at that time. And
Nobody carded you,
no, and then if we
or
did,
did you steal it?
I stole it.
Uh,
I did. Most of the stuff I stole was hard alcohol. I'd go like in Albertsons. And back in those days, they didn't have cameras, so you could sneak bottles of booze down your sock or down your pants or whatever, and walk away with some booze out of there.
You didn't like grab like a case of beer and run
No,
out the
beer was never the
front
thing I
door.
stole. It was always hard alcohol I stole. Beer, I just walked in. Or I've had people buy
So when
for
did
me.
you start drinking hard alcohol?
I drank hard alcohol with beer and stuff, but not all the time. I didn't get into hard alcohol until my
Okay, so I'm
like
not a
my mid
drinker,
30s,
so you
40s.
have to let me understand it. So how did you mix it, or do you drank it separately?
No, like you go in a certain place, like go to your friend's house, you have a couple shots,
Okay,
and then you drink your
okay,
your beer
okay,
and stuff.
okay.
And then later on in life, that's when I got really heavy into the hard alcohol.
What what did well? I when did things for you start falling apart because of alcohol? Or did you even realize you had a problem?
Well, I never realized I really had a problem. Um, I'd say it got bad for me when probably really bad in my 40s. That's when it got real bad. That was the worst 10 years of my life. Was 40 to 50.
So was that when you were married?
Yes, I was married. Yes, I was married to Michelle at that time, and I had kids. Did a lot of stupid things. Um, a lot of promises I made I didn't keep. Um, did a lot
Do
of
you
stupid
feel that
things.
the addiction changed you as a person
Yeah,
during that?
reborn you. It made me a whole different person. I'm that guy is dead. He's gone. He'll never be back.
What kind of person was this?
Very selfish, angry. Um, didn't give a shit about people. You know, only if you can get something out of life. You know, with it, and especially with women and stuff. You know, I'm when I was younger, I was a womanizer. I only thing I wanted was whatever they could get out of them, whatever I get out of them at that time in my life. You know, so I'm not proud of it, but that's who I was. So
Were there moments that you scared yourself with the alcohol, or did you just think, oh,
no, I was never,
just became a party story?
no, I don't think I was scared myself. The only time I really got a little concerned with everything is when I was at a bar and we got in a fight in a bar and I got whacked over the head with I think it was a wine bottle, and I found myself in the back by the dumpsters, out cold.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how I got there.
Well, obviously somebody
Period. But I
put you
woke
back
up,
there.
my car was still there, and I had a big old knot
Do
in
you
the
think
back of my
that
head.
the bouncer probably threw you out?
It could have been. I don't know. We were all scrambling and doing our thing, you know, and everybody's hitting somebody or
How
something.
old were you when this happened?
Oh God, this is before I got married. I was about 23, 24, somewhere in that area. That part's kind of scared me a little bit because I was like, you know, I realized I get so drunk I don't even remember where I'm at,
Right.
you know, and I never was like that before, and I was then, but I still drank. It just didn't stop me.
Didn't stop you at all.
No, never stopped until well, you'll get to that,
Well,
but
did you think that maybe you had a problem at that point, or
no, I never thought I had a problem. Really didn't think I had a problem ever.
did your relationships suffer at all?
All my
Your family
relationships stuff,
relationship,
yeah,
your
all of
wife,
them.
your children,
It got
everything?
to a point in my family didn't want to answer the phone when I called.
Well, that's
You
100.
know,
We knew at 7:30, do not answer the phone.
yeah,
We knew it was Randy, and
yeah.
he was going to be a little out of it.
Same with my friends' parents and stuff. They, you know, I mean, I had some parents that really liked me, but most of them didn't want me to be around their kids because I was a bad influence, and I totally agree with them. I was, you know, and booze is the biggest. There's a word I'm looking for. It's very controlling over your mind, and it tells you what to do.
Well, I mean, before you quit, I remember that you had to be home by 4 o'clock
Hmm.
because in your mind, you weren't an alcoholic if you didn't drink at 4 o'clock. But if you weren't home by 4 o'clock, oh my God,
Yeah, I was
it
bad.
was, yeah, get out of
Yeah,
his way. He would be so angry if he was at someone's house and goes, I gotta get home. Go, no, Randy, whoa.
and I knew every bar on the way home in the area, whatever I needed to stop at. If it was that time.
So did you stop at a bar
Sure, I did all the time.
before you got home?
Yeah,
Because you had to have it.
many times,
Wow.
many times, many times. Yeah.
What relationship do you feel was hurt the most?
Well, my marriage was a was a bad one. I I I could blame my wife on some of the stuff, my ex-wife back then, but most of it was me, drinking and gambling and all that stuff. I was really bad back then. I was really bad. Um, that's probably the
Do you
worst.
think your kids noticed what was going on, or
Well, no, I
were
think they
they
were too young to really realize it then, but they realized it more later. You know, and then they kind of put the puzzle together a little bit more. How I was. Um, I think today they understand, and I think I've done a lot to change that now. You know, but like I said, I'm not the same person I was back then. Completely different person. You know that. I'm not even close to being who I was.
was there ever a moment where you thought, I can't keep living like this?
I don't know. Man, I think we all think that this isn't the way to go, but the alcohol's got such a big grab on you, you can't do it.
Explain that. Explain that pull that alcohol has.
Well, it just pulls you in. Like you said, 4 o'clock. It's like your body needs it. It's like medication or anything that drugs or booze, and it's just it has a hold on your body and your mind. And if you don't take that, you can go through withdrawals. You can't deal with it. So even if you want to try and do it and stop, your mind says no. It just says no. You got to have a drink. But the thing with me was, I just wouldn't have a drink. I'd have a lot of drinks. I mean, between 4 and 8 o'clock, I was plastered. You know, and yeah, and I mean,
Were you a fun drunk or were you an
I thought I
angry drunk?
was. I thought I was, but everybody tells me I wasn't.
Well,
So
you had yeah, you would get short tempered real
I
quick,
mean, yeah, I mean, I was fun until the time somebody pissed me off.
which was very
It
easily.
was very easy. Yeah, I had a short fuse. So yeah, but other than that, I was always fun. I thought.
Did you get in a lot of fights when you were drunk?
Well, I've been in a few. Yeah, I've been in my share. And I've had my rear end busted up quite a bit, a few times, and and it's because you could cause, say, drinking. If I wasn't at that moment drinking where I was at, I wouldn't have been in those fights.
So, what was a specific moment, or was it gradual, where you decided to get sober? Was it like,
No, it was like boom.
but
It was
why?
like
What was it that
it was
said
my health.
your health? It was your
Yeah,
health? You
yeah.
went in the
My
hospital?
gut was in the hospital. And doctor came in. We talked about my my pulmonary hypertension, and then we talked about the rest of my body. He said if I keep drinking, I'll be dead within the year. And that hit me hard. And from that moment, I never drank again, ever. I haven't had a drink in 10 years on July 16th. Not even a
So,
taste of it.
did your life instantly get better?
Well, it took time. I had to go through the process, my own mind. But see, this was something I decided to do. Nobody forced me. Nobody, I'll tell you this right now, and this is for everybody out there. If somebody's forcing you to do something, you're not going to do it. If you can't do it on your own, it's never going to matter.
Yeah, but
You're going
some
to go right
people,
back
but
to
you
it.
need help though.
You do need help. You do, and it's nice to have a support system around you, which I had. I had my sisters, I had my family, my kids. I had a lot of support, but that wasn't it. I did it all on my own. I was me, all me, and I didn't, I made my mind up. That's the thing. You got to make it up in your mind. This is what you want. If you don't, you'll never do it.
Did you have any triggers? Was like if somebody said, "Ah, come on, Randy, one beer is not going to hurt
No,
you."
not for me. Not for me. Nope.
So that fear of dying was enough to
I had more.
scare you straight.
I had a hard time quit smoking than I could quit drinking.
Really?
Yep, a lot harder.
So did you have like say your wife or
I was with
say
Connie at the time.
but well even with Connie, but let's just say you were probably at your worst maybe when you were married to your first wife.
Yeah,
So did she ever ask you to stop drinking? Did she
I'm sure
ever
she did. I don't remember, to
you
be
don't
honest, back
remember?
then. I'm sure there was the conversations about it. She drank too back then. Not much, but she did too. And then we had friends that partied and stuff. So
So did you what I'm trying to understand is that you're drinking the only time that you figured you were going to stop is when you thought that you were going to die,
yes,
but not the fact that you were hurting the people that you love
because I didn't know I
with your
was.
addiction.
I didn't know I was really hurting
Did
anybody.
anybody ever say anything to you?
Sure, all the time, but I didn't believe it. I just didn't. I just no way. I'm not that drunk, or I don't drink that much, to cause these problems. Which I didn't really know that in my mind until I quit drinking and saw what I was doing and how I was, treating people. You know,
Did you have any kind of like loneliness because you weren't partying and drinking I mean, I remember you telling me once that it was hard for you to stop drinking and smoking because they were intertwined.
they are smoking
And
and drinking are very much in.
and so you had that so whenever you smoked, you had that craving to drink
But the
and
thing
vice
was, I
versa.
quit smoking before I stopped drinking.
And exactly. So I
Yeah.
remember you saying that every time you drank, you wanted to have a cigarette.
Yes. Yeah.
So
That was the hard part about smoking. But I did it. And I stopped. And then the drinking came, and the drinking was not hard for me. For whatever reason, It wasn't hard for me.
Was drinking associated with partying,
Well, it
having a
always
good
is.
time?
Sure it is.
So how did it affect you then when you stopped drinking?
Well, I was a little bit of a,
Like you
it's
felt
with,
bored all the time, or
like with when we go to Tammy's house and I sat with Barry, and all of us would sit in the garage and pound beers and stuff,
you'd
and that was a
smoke?
good time. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, to be honest, I miss that, but not the booze. So for a long time there, I thought that me not drinking made it not fun, because that's all I knew.
So let's just talk about the first year of sobriety.
Uh-huh.
How did what surprised you early on when you first started drinking?
How easy it was for me.
Really?
Yeah,
What surprised you?
yeah. I thought I'd go through all these withdrawals and all these different things that would struggle with it and everything, and I didn't have that.
Did you have any habits that helped you stay on track or
Well, I play a lot of golf. I work,
stayed
put my head
busy?
in work and stuff like that. Got more into family, even more. Um, just my whole life
So
changed.
when family would come over and you saw them drinking, did that bother you?
No.
So well, I know Connie drinks.
Mhm.
So if Connie was drinking wine or whatever, that didn't
The
bother
only
you.
thing that ever really not even bothered me, but kind of like I wish I could have done was when I'm on the golf course with the guys and everybody pops a beer or something like that. That kind of, I wish I could have done that. But other than that, no. I mean, my job now. I make drinks for people.
Did you have cravings at all?
No, not really.
So
Not really. No, because I knew that the alcohol was tearing my stomach up. And I didn't want to feel that pain anymore in my stomach either. So I had a lot of things that were positive that made me not want to drink, like stomach problems, breathing, stuff like that, which breathing would have had more effect on my body.
do you think stopping drinking and that year of being sober, did it help with your relationships?
Not drinking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like how?
Well, Connie is a good example. When she came in my life, we were drinking together and everything. And then I quit. And she was the best support system I ever had. She was the reason I think it made it easier on me, too. And you and everybody else that was there. But Connie was a big, big part of that, helping me through that. And like I said, when Connie's had a big part of me changing my life and who I am. You know, I'm not even close to the person I was back then. Period. I'm reborn. You know, I uh, I live my white life with a different code now, not like it was back then.
At what point did sobriety start feeling normal? Like, what year do you think? Was it like
I think after the
five
first,
years
I think
in?
no, I think after the first year, I felt fine with it. It didn't really come into play at all in my life. Period. And like I said, even from the beginning, it wasn't hard for me.
How do you, so how did you, how did you change? What changes did you notice about yourself from when you
My
were,
anger,
all those years of drinking and now that you were sober?
my anger stopped as much as it was. I'm still hot tempered, I still have attitudes at times, but now it's more clear to me. I
Mhm.
see it. I understand. If I do something bad, I acknowledge it and I apologize for it, or I do something about it. I'm more kinder to people when I'm around them. Um, I'm actually more engaging with kids than I used to be.
Mhm.
Um, I just everything seems more simple to me, not as hard in my life. Um, but like I said, I've been lucky. I have good friends. I have good family. I have a great job I work at. I love. Um, you know, I've been pretty lucky. Like I said, not everybody can go through what I went through and come out of it as easy as I did.
What kept you going through the hard years?
Well, my family, basically, my kids, my grandkids, uh, all you guys, everybody, my whole family.
Was there ever a time when your kids said, Dad, if you don't get sober, we're not going to bring the grandkids around, or we're not going to come around?
No, I don't know. I don't remember that much if they said much to me about it, but I think there's times where I felt the vibe to where I think, like with Brandon, sometimes would drink and I don't think Brandon was really um, too happy about my drinking. And I think I felt the vibe from him sometimes about it. Um, and there was times I wanted to quit for my kids, and I just couldn't do it at that time. Unfortunately, it happened later in their lives, which I wished I could go back and stop sooner than I did. Because I think it really, in the long run, hurt my relationship with my kids. I think my relationship now is really good with my kids, but I think it could have been a lot better. So
Well, 10 years is pretty good record there.
I think so. I'm proud of it myself. Through the years, I've been celebrating that day by myself. I would go off somewhere and just
Have a drink.
have a drink. I'd go play golf or do something with my friends, and
So, what would you say to people that are struggling with addiction? And obviously, it was easy for you to stop.
Mhm.
Did you ever try before that, or was it just that one
Oh, I had
time?
my moments when I tried, but I couldn't. It just didn't work. I went to a couple of AA meetings, and for me, I thought they were a joke. So I've talked to people. Um, I actually talked to a minister at one time when I was living in Riverside, and he tried to help me with it. And power of the drink was more powerful than the church or the Lord or anything like that back then. So, like I said, the 40s were the hardest drinking times of my life and part of my 50s. But the 40s were, I mean, I was at bars every day of my life and women and
Did you
just
ever
everything.
just pass out in strange cars, strange motel
Well, I've fallen
rooms,
asleep in a few different
places you didn't know how you got
places I didn't
to?
know how I got to, or there's a few beds there that I didn't anticipate being inside or being in, stuff like that. But nothing like it was with that time I was in the alley or anything. But um, I mean, we did some things crazy back in the early days. We'd take this buddy's truck of mine and run down to old Compton and stuff back in the day and raise shit down that area and stuff, which was stupid. But we used to do stuff like that back in the day. It was really dumb.
Well, obviously, people who do stuff when they're
Yeah,
drinking is dumb.
yeah.
But I mean, but for you though, I mean, there's people out there that struggle, 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 struggle,
It's
and they.
not as easy for most people like I had it. You
But for
have to know.
you, it was the fear of death.
Mine was a fear
Right?
of death and a
Do
fear that
you
I wouldn't
think
be.
that if that didn't happen,
I'd be drinking still.
yeah,
No, I think I would stop because of my stomach. I think the alcohol would have said, "Hey, it's enough." I don't know that for sure, but I'm thinking maybe that. But I'm just glad the way it worked out the way it did. I'm just really, really happy about it. I like who I am now. I know who I am now. I'm still growing. I'm still not perfect. I think we all do that through our life. I don't think you ever find that perfect in you.
what
But
would you say to someone out there who's struggling though? I mean, what would you say? What words of encouragement would you say? What words of
you can
advice
always
would you
quit.
say?
You can always quit, but you have to do it for you. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's the truth. It has to be for you. You have to sit down and evaluate what's going on in your life and decide if this is that important to
What
you.
would you say to someone who's relapsed?
Just keep going, keep trying. Have somebody there that you can talk to, somebody to help you.
Well, now you said you went to AA and it did nothing for you.
No, not for me.
Why?
Because I got a vibe there that everybody's still drunk, and the person that was, for me, the person I was talking to was either a relapser or somebody that didn't was still drunk. That's what I was finding out through it. With the
Well,
plate
that's what.
meetings I went to.
Well, that's triple A. That's AA.
AA.
People will show up drunk
Well,
because
no,
they're
I'm not
trying.
just not the people there. I'm talking about the people giving the seminars and all that stuff too. You're talking to people that still have problems. Or they're trying
Well,
people that have problems are still trying to talk to you about
well,
your
Randy, you're always you. I think you know you're always going to be an alcoholic.
always.
And do you think that if you took a drink, you would instantly go back?
First, these are the two reasons I don't want to drink. First off, I don't think I'd like it anymore. And the second biggest thing is if I take a drink, I have to start all over again. I've been 10 years sober, never had a taste of it. If I take just a taste of it, I have to start over again. And I don't want to do that. I hope I live another 10 years and have a 20-year anniversary of it. And I think you got to look at it that way.
Do you think that you traded in one addiction for another?
In what ways that?
I don't know. I know
I don't think
some
I
people
have any
like
addictions. Really.
somebody would stop smoking and then they'll start drinking. Somebody will stop drinking, then they'll start uh, eating sugar,
No,
or
well, no, not
they
really.
start taking pain pills,
I
or
take pain pills.
they start uh, sex. They find another kind of
I have
addiction.
I have an addictive mind anyway. So yes, I'm on pain pills, and there's a good reason why. But I have been on them for a while. I try to control my substance. I only take a certain amount of them a day. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you want to say I'm addicted to them, yeah, my body is because of the pain I'm under, and doctors know that. I'm under doctor care, so they know I'm not just taking them out of somebody off the street and selling them to me. So they know what I'm taking, what I'm on. Um, so yes, but it wasn't something I was looking to take. It's because I was prescribed that. But if you want to say I'm hooked on them, yes, I am hooked on those. Yes, that's not a doubt. Could I get off them? I think so, but I think the pain pills will be a lot longer process because you have these withdrawals you go through. So I'm sure I go through those. Um, so until they find something better for my pain, that's what I'm taking right now. And I just came back from the doctors, so I might be getting these shots in my neck and shoulder and my back that might relieve me from taking those pills, which I'm hoping they will. So that's where I'm at on that. But the alcohol is something you just gotta want, seriously want to do in your life. And I'll tell you now, if you do, it'll change your life for the best way you could ever imagine. It'll change you to a better person. I'm just telling you right now. But you have to do it on your own. If it's not on your own, you'll never do it. You can't do it for somebody else.
Well, I mean, by on your own, do you mean that you need to make that step and get help?
It's either you want to get help, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with getting help. But I think the thing really is inside you because you get all the help you want. And if you're not listening and actively doing something about it, then it's no good. Until you know it's what you want to do, it'll never go away. I don't care who talks to you. It has to be an inner thing, not an outer thing or anything, inner, to believe in that. That's it.
Was there any um, days that were super hard for you?
I don't think so. And I'd tell you if it was, but it hasn't. I don't remember a really day
Well,
hard.
all I can say is, Randy, I would say you're very lucky then. I mean, even though you drank for a lot of years and you just quit basically out of fear of dying
Mhm.
because you thought you were going to die, so you quit. Um, that's great, but there's a lot of people that can't, even
No.
with that fear.
And I'm not saying it's gonna be as easy for you or anybody to do it like I have. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just telling you my experience. But I really, in my mind and in my heart, I think it's something so deep inside you, you have to make that decision to quit. It could be a scare like I had, or it could be anything, but you have to make that commitment to you. And that's the only way I can put it. My way is not the puzzle of doing it.
Well, well, if there's someone out there right now that's watching this, um, what would you say to them if they're feeling hopeless? That they feel that I just can't stop. There's nothing I can do.
Well, there's always people out there to talk to. And I think that's good. Like I said, it can't be the way, maybe it could be the way I did it, but there is a way to stop. Just know that in your mind, in your heart, that there is a way. And you might be struggling right now, but it's inside of you to do it. It's inside of everyone to do it. So find somebody to talk to, whether it's a relative, a priest, or one of these psychiatrists you go to, or
A
whatever,
helpline.
helpline, any of that stuff. Go to it and talk if you're having struggles. Have someone, you need to talk to somebody all the time. But
I
even
mean,
if you talk to somebody, you have, like I've been saying it over, it has to be internally you doing it.
I think
I
that
hope people understand how I'm saying that.
I think it's just doing that first step and making that commitment, which for some
Sure.
people is like climbing a mountain. It's just out of reach and they can't see doing
Yeah.
that.
I mean, let's put this is it. My mountain wasn't as high. Some people's mountains are a lot higher. So, but like we said, my puzzle is not your puzzle. So, but there's always a way out. You can do it. I know all of you out there that have this problem can do it. It is very possible to do it. It's without a doubt they can do it. I know you can. And if you do, it will change your life for the best. I'll tell you that.
All right.
So,
Well, Randy, I want to thank you for wanting to share your story.
I'm glad I could.
Congratulations on
Thank
10
you.
years sober.
Appreciate it.
Hope you stay that way for the rest of your life.
I want to say out there, my grandson Nico's graduated today. And I just want to say I'm proud of you and I love you very much. And my daughters who are out there listening, I love you. And thank you for your support. My son, Brandon, always, and Michelle, Sophia, I appreciate all your support through everything. And my sisters, Sheri, Tammy, and Janelle, my niece, Maggie, all of you, I love you so much. And thank you for all your support.
I think you forgot your wife.
And my wife, Connie,
I think you forgot
yeah, the most important person.
Danielle,
Danielle,
Giselle,
Barry, James.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I said, I got a lot of support, a lot of people. So I love you all, and I hope you're all listening. And thank you for that.
So I want to thank everybody who joined us here tonight and
Oh,
listened.
and Marshall and Dirk, thank you.
And we appreciate you guys being here with us.
Macy, too.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. And
please do that. If anything out of this, please subscribe to us.
yeah, please
Yeah.
subscribe. Because the next time we go live, hopefully it's going to be to shave Randy's hair into a mohawk.
That's right.
So thank you for this little experiment with us. We're just trying to go live and see how it works because we're just,
Even if I help one person out there, that's well worth it. So please, text us and tell us what your thoughts are.
and thank you, Janelle, for listening. We see you on there.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
love you, sis.
It's your niece.
Oh, is little Janelle on there?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you too. I didn't know she was on.
Yeah. She's right there.
Cool.
She says, congratulations, Uncle Randy, of 10 years of sobriety.
Thank you, and I love you.
So thanks, you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe this weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. Thank you to all the people that have served out there, and we will see you soon.
God bless you all.
Now I have to get up and turn the camera off.
Should I dance? Wait.
How the hell do you turn this damn thing off? Oh, look, there's our look, there's our dining room.
Yeah.
See? Isn't that nice?
Nice dining room.